no visit is complete without checking out the hip and trendy stores. We are moving on to the places where the fashionistas hang out. So let's go check out the most sought-after brands, the biggest names, and everything that's high life in Colombo. And remember that you get to see it exclusively on High Life Dubai.
Avirati basically derives from a Sanskrit word avirati, which means sensuality. So Avirati basically is describing elegant, chic, and modern kind of appeal to a generation of from the age of 18, which goes up to 45. Actually, it was the first brand Sri Lankan for Sri Lankan women. The brand was launched in June 2010 with IFA, and a lot of people actually loved it. They were very happy to see a Sri Lankan brand coming up.
Cantaloupe Boutique was started with the intention of featuring Sri Lankan products and Sri Lankan designers, spa products, with the main concept being locally manufactured high-end products.
I think the most unique quality would be coming to one place and finding all your retail needs under one roof. As in, it's not just a clothing store, it's not just a homeware store, it's everything in one place. So it's really easy for people that especially that don't live here to come in and get a taste of Sri Lanka.
An interesting fact to note is the women of this country have been very instrumental in the redevelopment of Sri Lanka post-war. Join me in my conversation with them. Varuni Amunugama Fernando is a graduate of the Law Faculty of the University of Colombo and an attorney at law with over 17 years of experience in advertising, and is the founder and joint managing director of Triad Advertising. Varuni balances her law degree and advertising experience with equal finesse. Her perseverance, fearlessness, and grit has taken her from strength to strength, making her truly inspirational. A pleasure having her on High Life Dubai. Hi Varuni, I was really looking forward to meeting you, and thanks for being on High Life Dubai.
Nice meeting you, and thank you for inviting me.
Thank you so much. To start with, we were just doing a little bit of research on you. You've studied law, and then you've gotten into advertising and then done multiple things in the country. Tell us a little bit about that. How did that happen?
I think it all goes down to the family I come from, where Sri Lankans, on the most part, education plays a big role. So that was the reason for studying law. And after being in the Colombo Law Faculty for 4 years, really in the second year, I felt, together with my partner who's in advertising at the moment, that we could do something more meaningful. And there we felt that there was a lacuna in the communication industry, because see, Sri Lankans are very emotional people. And if you communicate certain important things, especially with regards to how important or how patriotic we need to be, then maybe that could help to move this country forward. So that is why we picked communication in terms of a business.
So when you started the company, you already had this vision to move the country.
Yes.
Right, which is a fantastic thing. I'm sure you were very young at that point in time. And you have come up with this campaign that literally helped people to move and participate in the freedom. It's Appi
Venueng Appi.
Appi Venueng Appi.
Yes.
So what was all?
The English translation of it, of course, which doesn't really carry the Sri Lankan meaning of it. It says together for all. essentially it was the height of the war, and one of the biggest problems we were facing, the forces were facing at that time, was that people were leaving the army, the soldiers were leaving, and also not many people wanted to join, and numbers were very, very important on the ground. So they actually approached us to do a recruitment campaign, right? It was just say, okay, encourage people to come. But we come from a background where we feel advertising or communication is really to solve a problem. You shouldn't just be arty and communicate something which has no meaning or result. So we thought about it, and the ground reality was that nobody wanted to join the forces because you would come home in a body bag. That was the kind of imagery. It was not a winning battle at that point in time. So what we did was we did a little research, our own kind of dipstick research, and we found this local insight, which was that every Sri Lankan has some connection to the Sri Lanka forces. It could be your brother, it could be your son, it could be your neighbor, it could be your friend. Everybody had a link to the Army, Navy, Air Force, or the police. So I think with our communication campaign, it transcended just a normal commercial campaign. It suddenly brought about this new meaning, saying, hey, look, these guys are laying their lives for us, and it's us laying our lives. So support them, protect them, believe in them.
Would you like to say anything to our viewers that why should they come to Sri Lanka for a holiday?
Oh, of course I would like to say that, because it's the most beautiful place on earth. But that apart, Sri Lanka is really an enigma. Most people don't know about the mystery that is in Sri Lanka. To begin with, you may have heard of the beautiful beaches, but that's just one part of it. We've got the most beautiful locations, that's for one. Number two is we are very, very safe. We are essentially a Buddhist country, but we respect all religions. And this country is a very safe place for people to walk about. And the third most important thing is, it's a small island, but it's actually a miracle, because within, say, a few short miles, a few short hours, you have absolute diversity. You have wildlife on one side, then you have the heritage on the other, you have beautiful beaches, then you have, you know, the luscious greenery and the hill country and the misty mountains. Then you have the nightlife. You know, Colombo, the capital, is full of nightlife, eating places, and young people have a ball here. So I really don't think there is another place on earth where you have all this in one tiny gem of an island. So all I can say is, please come, and we are waiting.
Minoli Ratnaike is the much adored chief editor of Adore magazine and also the host of very popular TV show Power Women. Alluring, inspiring and thought-provoking. That's Minoli for you.
Well, I was born in England, grew up in Africa for half of my life, and then sort of lived and worked in England. Actually, I was in television production in the UK and media. And then I just wanted to come home. I just wanted to come back to Sri Lanka. And that was 10 years ago. And even at that time, I really felt that the country, even though we were sort of in the throes of civil war, I mean, I really felt that there was a lot of potential here for people like myself, actually, who had lived abroad, studied abroad, and really wanted to come back and do different things, not sort of the 9-to-5 everyday type of job. I felt the scope was fantastic here.
Our journey would not have been complete without meeting with some of the powerful individuals we met, from celebrity chefs to entrepreneurs and corporate hierarchy. Getting an insight to their journey surely added the much needed spice to our trip.
The Tourism Board of Sri Lanka is playing a pivotal role in encouraging tourism to this beautiful country.
Sri Lanka is a country which has a lot of diversity. Within hours, you can change the climate condition, that you are here on a 24 degrees and immediately within 1 hour you go into about 10 to 12 degrees climate, and which is a different scenic view. Here you have the pristine, the beaches. What we have done is we have categorized Sri Lanka's tourism attractions into 8 categories. That is with pristine, the beaches, then the scenic beauty, then we have the essence. We are talking of the culture and the people, you know, the hospitality of them, which is inbuilt. We have made it very easy for investors, you know, just the Board of Investment has relaxed many of the procedures for investments, and we have come out with this one-stop unit where all the investments, procedures, approvals just processed. So investor has to just come, hand over his application and go. When the investment achieve their targets, I think we are on board to have it and to place or position Sri Lanka as the most sought after destination in the world for tourists and investors.
Dining at Lemon was a memorable experience in every sense. It was the food, the ambience and the warm hospitality of Chef Kolu that made the evening extremely special. Hi Kolu, lovely to have you on the show. Thank you for coming on the show. Thank you. We've been hearing so much about you ever since you've come to Sri Lanka. Tell us a little more about yourself. We hear you are a multifaceted personality. You write, you're an actor.
Shall I put it like this? I'm a cook. Yes, my profession is that I am a cook. I have made all my earning cooking. I have traveled all over the world cooking. And so cooking is really my forte. But as a pastime, my father's a journalist, so I might have got something from him. So I write a column, and I do a couple of columns for some magazines.
And you do an yearly event also?
The annual event is a big event because that's a huge charity show we do, which is received very well. And well, I have a good time doing it. So I think if you are having a good time doing what you enjoy, everybody else around you enjoys what they're watching.
Absolutely. So. Tell us, how does it feel to be the only celebrity chef in Sri Lanka?
Well, that was bestowed upon me, so it was quite fun. It's nice, you're recognized here and there. But so it was for me a hobby which turned into a profession. So in my whole entire life, I never felt that I was working.
Okay, great. So you love what you do. Basically.
I love what I do, yeah.
Tell us about Lemon. It looks fabulous and the interior is very nice, cozy. Tell us about the food here.
Lemon now is just open for 2 years. And of course, on the time it opened, it became very popular. Place, as you say, it's very lovely, good, nice ambience. Food here, of course, is mainly on, we concentrate on, we have Sri Lankan food, we have Asian food, and of course, some continental food.
Okay.
A mixture of all three.
Ever since we've come here, we're trying out different kind of food, but of course, I must say Sri Lankan food is yummy. You know, I'm a big foodie and I love to eat. I've been trying Sri Lankan food wherever possible. Tell us a little more about it. You know, it's spicy, of course, but then it's also very interesting the way you feel each and every spice when you're eating.
Well, first we have several varieties. The cooking styles are completely different because we from the north, the south, to the east, to the west, it's always different styles of Sri Lankan cooking. So our curries vary from place to place.